Hey guys, Chris here. We are at home now. We doing some home time and taking care of some things that we have to do at home, and brought up some points. Something that we thought about, especially if you're new to expediting or trucking, and it's a problem that we were faced with when we first started expediting for sure. Um, we came home and we were excited to be home, but after being out on the road for 4 weeks or so, we get in our car and it won't start. The battery's dead. Car batteries don't do a really good job of holding charge when you don't run them at all for a while, especially in the wintertime. I think what we did first was we invested in a jump starter, which is not a bad idea to have if you don't have one. Actually, we carry ours on the truck now just for an emergency situation, but although it probably wouldn't start the truck engine, it would possibly jump start the APU or a generator, which would then charge the batteries if did have a situation where your batteries ran low on the truck. But anyway, that was a lifesaver to get our car going. But still, it didn't really fix the problem because we really didn't drive enough. I mean, if we're home for just a couple of days or maybe even a week, we really didn't drive enough to, maintain the car battery for the next 4 weeks or so while we're out on the road again. So. Started looking into things like a battery tender. That's a brand name. I used to have one for a motorcycle, so that's a good idea. So we started looking at that, and when we were at Harbor Freight, we actually found one. Their brand name is called Syntec. It's basically the same thing. It's a battery maintainer / charger. This one is it's a little less expensive, I think, than the battery tender. I think it was like $24. It has different types of connections, so you can just have like the alligator clips to clip onto a battery, or you have like the permanent plug that installs, and that does a really good job of maintaining the battery. Now that's just part of our routine. When we go out on the road, we'll plug in the battery, and then when we get home, we don't have to worry about will our car start or not. Okay guys, as I mentioned before, the brand name of the battery maintainer that we purchased is called Syntec. It's really easy to use. It just kind of plugs in the wall, and you have your choice of either using the alligator clips on the battery or the permanent installation, which we chose to do. It has one LED light, and it kind of has an indicator on that tells you what the lights mean. It automatically maintains the correct voltage, so you don't have to worry about it. You just plug it in and it's good to go. You always have a full charge whenever you disconnect it after you've had it plugged in. Even has a warning for reverse polarity in case you're using the alligator clips and you hook it up backwards. It kind of lets you know that. It has a built-in fuse, so for safety, and it charges any 12-volt battery, so you should be good with most any maker model. I think, as I mentioned before, you can also use them for mowers or any kind of ATV, motorcycle, even boats, things of that nature. Anything that has a 12-volt battery, you can use this battery maintainer. It's real simple to use. It's really been a lifesaver since we do spend so much time on the road. Probably 90% of our time is out on the truck. So when we come home, it's nice to not have to worry about things like that you just take for granted, like your car. I mean, since you don't drive it every day, it's not going to maintain itself. The car is not going to be able to maintain the battery and stay charged when it doesn't run that often. Which it helps with keeping the miles down on your car. So that's a bonus. But it is convenient for things to work when you want them to work. So I hope this helps. It's just something to think about if you just get into expediting and you're going out on the road. You want to make sure that your car is good to go when you get back home. So I hope this helps. Thanks. Okay, so this is the brand that we found. We found this one at Harbor Freight. I think it was about $24. It's the Syntec Deluxe. It's a float charger, battery maintainer. This does a great job of keeping the battery topped off while we're out on the road in the truck. So when we get home, our car is ready to go and we don't have a dead battery. Okay guys, this is the installation of the battery maintainer. This is how the plug wires to the battery terminals. It basically has two rings, one for the positive, it's marked with the red, and then white for the negative. Pretty straightforward. You just take the nut off of the battery post and slide those rings on there and tighten the nuts back down. And then it's permanently installed. And now you don't have to pop your hood every time you want to plug in the battery to charge it or unplug it. And as you can see also, it does have a built-in fuse in line, like I said, so any kind of surge or anything like that, you're kind of protected there with the fuse. I think maybe as I noted before, and depends on what kind of vehicle you have and where the battery is located. You may go through the front grille, and the only thing that you're left with that's exposed is, I actually have mine plugged in right now, but is this little plug here, which it has a cap that goes on the end when you're not using it. Ours wouldn't quite go that far to the grill, but what we found is there's a break in the weather stripping here at the top of the hood, just below the windshield, and it seems to fit in there just fine. Okay, so this is kind of what it looks like when it's not plugged into the charger. You just have this tab here. So when you close the hood, it's actually completely covered, and it doesn't touch the wiper at all. So it just kind of stays over there out of the way, but yet it's easy to get to, and it saves you from having to open and close the hood every time you want to plug in the battery or unplug it. So it's easy to get to right there. Like I said, we've been doing this for a while, and so far we've had no issues with this setup. Like I said, the installation is probably going to vary depending on the type of vehicle that you have and where the battery is located. Once again, I hope this helps. Thanks. Okay guys, so this is where the battery maintainer it plugs in to the car. Have it routed through the top of the hood. There's a place to route the wire right there. It comes out just below the windshield wipers. The cable wasn't long enough to go through the grill. Some cars you may be able to get it through the grill, but we were able to get it routed through the top. Okay, so this is with the battery maintainer unplugged. You can see it's here, and it kind of tucks up in there. You really can't even see it unless you're looking down below the windshield wiper. But it does have a cap that covers the end. So when we're ready to drive, we just unplug the battery charger maintainer and just plug the cap back on there, and then it's good right there. You can kind of tuck it back out of the way. It doesn't interfere with the wipers at all.